During the holidays, and especially around Christmas time, all I want to do is bake cookies. And it's no surprise why. I mean, it's the season for it. But since it's just the two of us, I don't feel like making something overly complicated. So that's why today I wanted to make my Chewy chocolate chip pecan cookies. The thing I like the most about this recipe is that it's pretty low maintenance, doesn't require special equipment, and it doesn't make a whole batch of cookies. It just makes a dozen, which is perfect for just the two of us. So if you want to know how to make these delightfully chewy, nutty chocolate chip cookies for Santa or for yourself, then come on, let's go into the kitchen and I'll show you how to make this. I don't normally mind whipping out my stand mixer or electric mixer, but the best part of this recipe is that you don't have to. And all you're gonna need for my chewy chocolate chip pecan cookies is flour, unsalted butter, sugar, brown sugar, egg, salt, baking soda, pecans, vanilla extract, and semi-sweet chocolate chips. So I just have 1 cup of all-purpose flour in a bowl, and to that I'm going to add half a teaspoon of baking soda and a 1/4 teaspoon of fine salt. And all you do is whisk it all together so it's even and you get all of those flour lumps out. Now in this bowl you're going to add your sugars and your butter. So I have a 1/4 cup of regular sugar, and then I have half of a packed cup of brown sugar, and you notice that I actually packed it real good in the measuring cup. To the point where it's stuck. Doink. Just gonna, oh my gosh. Sorry, I totally packed this in the cup last night and I think it was cold in the kitchen and now it's like completely solidified. How embarrassing. Let's say a little prayer that it comes out good in the end, because I got little lumpy crystals of brown sugar up in here, but we'll see. And now I have 5 tablespoons of unsalted butter that I just melted in the microwave. Make sure you melt it and then let it cool, because you don't want it like piping hot in the sugar. If your sugar isn't a solid rock like mine, it's gonna look way creamier and fluffier than this. Okay, that's looking decent. So I'm going to crack my egg, and because the butter is cooled, you don't have to worry about the egg scrambling. And while I'm at it, I'm going to add in my vanilla extract. 2 teaspoons. You're just gonna beat this until it's creamy and well combined. And don't mind the lumps. And lastly, you're gonna switch to your rubber spatula and add in your mixture of flour, baking soda, and salt. And you're just going to add it in all at once. And you switch to a rubber spatula because you wanna be gentle when you fold it in. And it looks like it's a lot of dry ingredients, but just be patient. Just let it do its thing and slowly absorb that flour. Scrape the sides too, make sure you get all of that flour. There you go. I'm surprised, but this batter looks nice. Look, it's perfect. It's nice and springy. See? Bloop, bloop, bloop. Now, with the pecans, all I did was get half a cup of pecan pieces. And so they're already in larger pieces, and you just toast them in a dry pan until they're nutty, aromatic, and golden. And that makes all the difference, so don't skip that step. I've actually had a couple friends try these cookies, and they're like, doesn't even taste like there's nuts in it. I'm like, it's because they're toasted. So we're gonna add half a cup of the toasted, cooled pecan pieces. And you notice I'm leaving them in fairly large pieces, but because they're toasted, they're not gonna be too overwhelmingly nutty. They're just crunchy. crunchy and savory and delicious. And then half a cup of course, semi-sweet chocolate chips. You don't want them too sweet. Personally, I'm not the hugest chocolate chip person, and neither is Joe, and I feel like it makes it too sweet. So I purposely reduced the amount of chocolate chips. So if you don't like nuts or you're allergic to nuts, I would suggest just adding a little bit more chocolate chips so that there is some bulk in there. Now, this is the important part. You're going to have to put this in the fridge for 10 minutes. And I know from experience, if you just try to plop them on the sheet right away, you could have overworked the butter. It'll be too soft and too hot. And so then when it goes on the tray, it's just gonna melt into a blobby mess. Put it in the fridge, let the butter get cold again so that by the time it goes into the oven, it'll stay in its shape. I just sprayed my tablespoon with some nonstick spray so that I have an easier time scooping the sticky batter out. And I have 2 trays that are lined with parchment paper. So you want to make sure that you have enough space, plenty of space for them to spread. And so I'm going to use 2 sheets. And if you have one of those cool springy, cookie scoops with a little handle, then use that if you know that it's going to be about 2 tablespoons. But I don't have one. So I'm just going to literally use a tablespoon measure, and I'm going to measure out 2 spoonfuls, one on top of each other. And I'm going to just kind of slightly press them down. So I'm going to aim for 6 on each sheet, and I've done this before, so it does make about 12 cookies exactly. So I'm just going to continue to plop and drop 6 cookies per tray. The oven is preheated to 350 degrees, and we're going to just put both trays in at the same time for anywhere between 13 to 14 minutes so that the centers are still chewy and soft, but the outsides are a little bit crispy. And we're going to rotate them in the oven halfway through. So I'm going to continue on with the other tray. Did you guys know that Christmas is also Joe's birthday?
Yay, another year older.
I'm sure he's excited about that. So to celebrate, you may have a cookie.
No, I'm really excited. As you know, when you bake it, just the smell fills the whole place, so.
Try it. That's so good.
Really soft on the inside and crunchy on the outside.
Yep. Crispy on the outside, tender and chewy and on the inside. And that's because you make sure not to over bake it. Once it comes out of the oven, just let it chill on the tray for about a minute so it doesn't fall apart when you try to pick it up. But then transfer it to a cooling rack so it doesn't continue to bake. And then I think this is the perfect amount of chocolate chips.
It's not too sweet, but sweet enough. I think it's perfect.
You really taste that vanilla. Oh my gosh, it's so gooey and chewy and crispy and yummy.
Santa will be very happy with these. Hopefully we'll get some nice gifts this year.
Yeah. And be sure to check out our behind the scenes to watch the making of this episode. Well, I hope you enjoyed spending time with me today, so remember to push like, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to our channel. Thanks so much for watching. We hope you have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and we'll see you next time. Bye. I don't know if we'll have enough to give away as gifts. We might just eat it all ourselves.
Gotta make another batch. There's a reason why we need cookies for 2.
12 cookies for 2. Forget the milk. This would be so good with coffee, right? Eat it for breakfast.